Hi. So folks, I love coming to SAGES meetings. I'm pretty happy. I love seeing old friends, meeting new ones. And I love seeing research from all around the world. Is it from all around the world, though? That's what I want to know with this research. I have no financial disclosures. I do have to say that I have been a SAGES member since 2014. I'm a committee member. However, I've never been involved with any of the meeting content or the abstracts received. I am from Mexico, and that necessarily, I think, paints my worldview. So I think that's relevant to disclose. So a few definitions before we get off. Low, or LMIC, low middle income country. This is an economic definition, essentially looking at income per capita. Developing country tends to look at more at humanitarian development indexes. And so these are ways of classifying countries. There is a third term that is sort of fallen out of favor because of its negative connotation, but essentially I'm going to use LMIC in this talk. So this is a map of the world. That's what that looks like. So those deep, dark greens will be high income countries. The clear greens will be upper middle income countries. Clear purple, lower middle income countries. And deep purple will be low income countries. This classification, again, is from the World Bank, and you see, well, essentially we have United States, Canada, Western Europe, some states in the Middle East, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan and South Korea over here. So the rest of the world falls into this category of LMIC. So in 2021, the UNESCO published its science report, and they looked at a bunch of data, and they show that 56% of the world's publication, so its research output, comes from high-income countries. And that's a big disparity because, again, 80% of the world's population live in LMICs. Surprising? Probably not. High-income countries have more researchers per habitant. Take a look at, I don't know, the USA, 4,000 researchers per habitant, compared to India, 253. High-income countries spend more money on research. Take a look at Germany. Germany spends 3% of its GDP on research, compared to my home country of Mexico. It's 0.3. My current government is undermining that even more, so it shouldn't be a surprise that we output less research. So again, the question here is what percentage of research presented at podiums like these at SAGES comes from LMICs. I did not take a look at posters. We decided mainly to focus on podiums. Need to address the elephant in the room here. This is a Society of American Gastrointestinal Endoscopic Surgeons, so why would you care about LMICs? Well, first off, I mean, again, as a foreigner, this is America. To me, you know, not just that little bit. But I know SAGES is not a society that really looks inward. We have our Global Affairs Committee. They have their Go Global project. They've done wonderful work in Morocco, Peru, Mexico. We have patient information brochures in a bunch of languages. Even this Friday, we're having our first ever SAGES Spanish session. So again, this isn't a society, I think, that really is sort of looking to just America for its participation and for its mission. And so our methods are fairly simple. We looked up and downloaded SAGES meeting abstracts from 2016 to 2020. Essentially took 5 years as an arbitrary number. We used the World Bank classification. Again, this is high income, upper middle, lower middle, or low income. Anything below high income counts as an LMIC. We also looked at international collaboration. Some abstracts feature authors from multiple countries. And so we kind of hypothesized that a way for researchers from LMICs to be up here is to partner with high-income countries, and that's maybe a way to increase their research output. So this is what we found. Essentially, 91% of research presented at SAGES comes from high-income countries. The rest of it, 6 and 3%, divided between upper and lower middle income. There were 0 abstracts presented from lower-income countries in the 5 years we looked at. This is what that looks like on the world map. Essentially, China and India as leaders. My home country of Mexico, I think it was like 3 abstracts within the 5 years. Not great. Oh, I lost my mouse. Can you do that next one, please? Looking at collaboration, there were 115 abstracts from LMICs, and only a small percentage of those featured international collaboration, so that part of our hypothesis turned out to not be true. Can I get the next one? Next one. So this is where we're at. Can we go again? And that's the world. So I think there's a gap there. You know, I think that there is a gap that is certainly significant, looks like. I'm not the first one to do this kind of work. There was a group that looked at research at the American Society of Hematology meeting. There's just one meeting, but it's a very big meeting. Essentially, they found numbers similar to ours. Overall, 10% of research from LMICs, 9% of oral abstracts, and 11% of poster abstracts. Does it matter? Up for debate. You know, I think it does. Not to drill home the point, but 80% of the world's population does not live in a high-income country. So the practice of medicine and surgery will necessarily be different in places where you have low resources. And there are a million ways to illustrate this. I just chose this study that looked at electricity availability in LMIC hospitals, and these folks looked at 528 hospitals, of which 60% had continuous, reliable electricity supply, and 72% of them had generators available. Can you imagine your hospital not having electricity? I personally can't, right? But, and so I think that sort of illustrates the gaps that might exist. So now what? Folks, I don't know. I'm not a DEI expert. I just looked at this, and I'm going to take a tweet from John Alberti that said, good science is solution agnostic. So that's my way out of that, the solution. If you push me, however, to give a solution, I would say, I know what's on this side. I know what gets published. I want to know what's on this side, right? Is it not good enough? Are there not enough abstracts? Are they not relevant to the wider world? What's going on there? That would be one thing I would do to address this, if you wanted to address it. That's our hospital back home. Always welcome to Monterrey, Mexico. Thank you.